Well, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're popping in from. We say welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just excited to be here today. I'm so glad that you're joining us and that you are in for a treat. Our topic today, I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but is did you take the mask off? Did you take the mask off? Are you still masking about saying forgiveness? Or did you really in your heart forgive? And today I want to say to everybody, this is Leslie Karen Montgomery. Welcome to LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And we have special ones with us today. And, as I always say, if you looked in the mirror this morning and you said, is life worth living? I want you to know life is worth living. If that's a question you have not finished your journey. You have not completed your assignment. Because when your assignment is completed and your destiny is fulfilled and your purpose is done, you're going to no longer be here. So I don't want you to feel like it's your purpose or your assignment to end your life. No, it's your assignment to live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. So I want to say welcome to everybody that's on the stage today. Some of them already. They're not any strangers to this platform. But then we have Dr. Roz, Dr. Smile. She has many names. Auntie Roz, she is joining us today, and we say welcome. We want to say happy birthday to you because yesterday was your birthday, and we celebrate you today. So there's a song she has requested, and the reason why I'm playing the song is because she requested it. And I'm not going to play a lot of it because I did the video. Let me see if I can. I'm showing off, trying to act like I know what I'm doing.
Yes. Say I could go on and on about your works because I'm grateful. To praise you, Lord. Come on. Flowing from my heart. You're talking to the Lord now. All the issues of my heart. My heart. And everybody say, He is grateful. If you're grateful, why don't you clap your hands? Come on. Yes, love. Everybody say grateful. Come on, let me hear you say grateful. If you're grateful, say it. Gratefulness is flowing. Everybody's grateful. Gratefulness is flowing. If you're grateful, say it. Grateful. Gratefulness is flowing. Everybody say grateful. Stay right there. Come on, lift your hands and say, flowing from my heart. Let it come from your heart. Come on, every woman, man, boy, girl, say it. Let me hear the Apollo say it. Come on, let me hear upstairs. Come on, say flowing, everybody flowing. I hear y'all saying it. Let me hear this main floor. Come on, everybody say flowing from my heart. Say it. My heart. Yeah. Are the issues of my heart. My heart. Everybody say his gratefulness.
Amen. That was a good one. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful. And, when we think about gratefulness, when we think about the song that says, when I think about his goodness, when I think about how he's kept me, when I think about how he's protected me, when I think about how even before the foundation of the earth, I was chosen. You understand you were chosen? Do you understand that you are peculiar? You're not going to look like everybody else. You're not going to talk like everybody else. You're not going to sound like everybody else because you're going to sound and talk like him. Hallelujah. And good morning to everybody. Good morning. I am grateful. I am so grateful. I am grateful. That song rings inside of you. And I wanted to end with that part, the issues of my heart. And so grateful. But we want to talk about the issues today in our heart. We want to talk about those things that keeps stagnant on the line, that keeps things from not being clear, not seeing clear, not understanding clear. And we're going to talk about that today. But I'm going to let the ladies, talk real quick, not real quick, but introduce themselves. And I want to start with Alicia first, and then I'll let Tiffany, and then I'll let the birthday girl go afterwards. So go ahead, Alicia. Tell them about 1212 and yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Alicia Johnson, the creator of the 1212 community, and it is a lovely little community where we are learning to recalibrate our lives 12 hours for God, 12 hours for man, and we do that through a variety of different modalities, and one of our favorite ones is journaling. So that's who I am, and I promised Mike I would act right this week. So
I was wondering what was wrong.
I'm complete. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
We got company. We got company today.
We got company. Okay.
Hi, ladies.
I'm
Hello.
gonna be nice too then.
Hello, everyone. Bye.
Go ahead, Team Charles.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tiffany. I'm the better half of Teen Child.
The better half, yes.
Hilarious. Yes, better half of Teen Child. I'm a wife, a loving mother, an amazing friend to others. But my husband and I we coach together under Team Child's Health Renewal. And basically, what we do, we inspire the power of choice towards whole body wellness through a spiritual, mental, and physical approach through commitment, consistency, and community. So that's a little bit about who I am.
What about
I'm
some of
glad
the
to be
things
here.
you do?
Some of the things I do, I am a advocate for self-care. So I try to utilize that daily, and I encourage others as well.
Okay, she's putting it lightly, but thank you, sweetheart. Auntie Roz, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. And I am most grateful to just be in this setting, to be with my coach, AJ, to be with my submarine chick girlfriend, Tiffana, and to be with PL3, who is a part of my community, Trucking God's Way. And I can't think anything more than to be the day after a birthday with women of empowerment, encouragement, elevation, enlightenment, and education. So I know that this is going to be an awesome morning for those. So I know that something's powerful on the word of forgiveness, I'm just going to pop up this heart so that whoever may have needed, you may rethink it and get released today with some inner healing and deliverance on today's topic. Thank you so much, ladies, for allowing me to be here.
Amen. Amen. So Alicia's already put in the comments, no, ma'am, we need all of you.
Y'all not gonna mess up my happy household. I'm gonna be good today.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I don't even see all the names, but someone said the Glam Squad is on point. So we thank you for that. So we've been talking about forgiveness, and I was thinking about it this week and pondering on it and kept pondering on it, not knowing where to come. And I just kept hearing mask, mask, mask. I kept hearing so many masking behind forgiveness. I was like, masking behind forgiveness. Yes, it's coming out of their mouths. And we've kind of touched on this from time to time. It's coming out of their mouths, but it's not in their heart. You know, some people will say, I forgive you. But in their heart, they got a vindictiveness. They're building up to what they're going to do to you to bring you down. There's in their heart, they're saying, or in their mind, they're saying, I really don't forget you, and I'm going to get you for what you've done. And those are some of the things we want to talk about today. What is that hidden thing that's causing you to keep things from connecting with God because you choose not to forgive in your heart? Why? Because that's the way you've been, and that's the way you're always going to be. That's how you feel. You know, you hear people say, that's me. I've always been that way, and I'm going to be that way. No, no, no. When we're in the kingdom, we have to change. We can't stay the same. We can't do the old things we used to do. We can't even do them the old way we used to do them. And forgiveness is at the top of the list. Come into my heart, forgive me. When they say, how do we pray? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us. Forgiveness is at the top of the list. And a lot of times I was speaking to somebody, I'm always telling somebody, when somebody's pointing the finger this way, they don't remember that there's three pointing back at them. So we need to check ourselves and begin to really do a checklist. That's what I got to do. I got to do a checklist with myself all the time. I have to check myself. And I want to say, you might have to check yourself sometimes. Alicia probably lost connection. So kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, we want to talk about that. We want to dive into that and really talk about what that looks like. Thank you, Phyllis, to really talk about what that looks like. What does forgiveness really consist of? What does forgiveness really mean in the topic of our salvation, in the topic of living in the kingdom? You know, we've always done things the way of the world. But have we done things that would cause us to no longer live in, what does it say? We're in the world, but we're not of it. What does that mean? That we have made a choice, and the choice is to live according to the kingdom. Not according to Ra's way, not according to Tiff's way, not according to Leslie's way. You know, that you have people that have books and it says according to my, no, it's not according to our way. And when we get in a place that we understand that and realize that, there's a whole lot of freedom that comes with that. Your heart is no longer plagued and broken. The issues of our hearts, a lot of them begin with forgiveness, most of them, because from the stem of forgiveness comes the root of other things: hatred, murder. There's people that have gotten murder for things they did years ago, and somebody pondered in their heart and said, I'm gonna get you back. And they proceed, or they predicted in their mind, they foreseen the time that they were going to do what they needed to do to the person. And a lot of times vindictive people will wait till you're off guard to get you. So if we have unforgiveness pondering in our hearts, how do we deal with that? Ladies?
Okay, my little sister. Number one, as you were speaking, y'all don't know her as PL3. That means Prophetess Leslie. But the first thing that comes to my mind is pride. Because we just don't want to let go, or we don't want to feel that we weren't right or wrong. But when something or someone does something towards us, it goes into a pride issue that we have to be able to release to have inner healing. And forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but we have to be able to have forgiveness to be able to let go of the pain of the incident that took place. There's an inner peace, as you mentioned, Leslie. There's an inner peace of forgiveness that gives our own self peace of mind. And as you said, we never know when somebody's watching us. To be peaceful, and especially when other individuals know about the situation of relational currency and collaborative intelligence with others, what it does, it gives hope for someone else that they would be able, because they see you, they can return the favor in another situation. It's not per se that they actually do it, but they saw someone. I was dealing with a situation, and I did not know that I hurt the person. And unfortunately, still today, it's still going on, because I'm trying to say, when do I say, I apologize, but I don't know what's happening. The other person, when I was with them, they communicated something to me that let me know that they were aware of it, but that was their way to say sorry. So the thing I think about is the difference between I'm sorry and I apologize. I think there's two different levels to that, but this forgiveness thing is a big thing. And I'm so grateful. This is one of the reasons, even playing the song, I'm grateful because our fearless leader, the vessel who has said yes, Alicia, we have 30 days of that, and that is ongoing all the time. I know that I've gone weeks on just personal habits. I think it's forgiveness for personal habits or wrong decisions. And when you think about the way God even laid that out to her, there's different areas about others, but majority of that forgiveness deals with ourselves.
Right.
Different
Right.
topics. We have to start with ourselves on forgiveness. So forgiveness is forever, just like love.
So I'm gonna put this out there because I know Mike is listening. Mike, we're gonna have a talk, because this is a fun show. We're gonna have a talk.
No, my computer is officially on the sick and shut in list. He done showed out this morning. So keep her on the altar. She gone.
So when you first started, you talked about in so many words that festering part. What I hear, and this is one of the things we need to address, is that I didn't do anything. Not that you were saying that, but you was using it as an illustration. I didn't do anything, so I'm not going to forgive. I'm not going to be the first one, and that happens a lot. I'm not going to be the first one to make the first step, because I didn't do anything wrong, and I don't know what's wrong. You guys might need to mute your mic till you're ready to talk. And so in the process, what's happening is we're not released and we don't release the other person. Forgiveness is a two-sided thing. It releases both sides. And whether the other side wants to forgive you or not, that is not your concern. And what do I mean by that? When you hold on to it and you ponder, what can I do? What can I say? What's it going to take? You're hindering yourself from moving forwards because you're stagnated trying to figure out how to make this other person understand that you're sorry. We can apologize all day long, but if it's not in the heart, it's just an apology. So our words mean a lot, but our heart means more. Somebody's unmuted. I don't know.
Hey Les, when you said that part, not the part of even just saying I'm sorry, the part is being prepared for what you're not going to know. Like, how is it going to affect the confrontation, the conflict? I think that part, it's not an excuse, but I think that part of it is a big part for us not to execute, to move into a place of healing.
Yeah, and that's true. Alicia, I know you have something you want to say, but yeah, that is very true because all those components, it's different components that plays a part in forgiveness that hinders our move. So go ahead, Alicia.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with everything. I kind of I fell off the call off the live, so I just want to make sure I'm on track. So catch me up. I just want to make sure that we were talking about what pride, forgiveness, not being not forgiving thoroughly or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay. I just want to make sure I'm on point. As far as forgiveness is concerned, your first pass at forgiveness doesn't work. So don't even get comfortable with the fact that you said, "Oh, I forgave that person." That's what I hear a lot of times. I've experienced it myself many times. The first pass at forgiveness is like your trial run. It's like your starter, like just kicking the training wheels off. So no one in this human. Okay, let me preface this. In natural occurring situations where you just want to forgive for the sake of forgiving, so you feel better, so that you're not carrying this burden, so that just in a natural form of forgiveness, it's not going to happen. It's not going. You will not go from 0 to 60 overnight. And unfortunately, in events where there is great trauma, there is like a great transformation, such as sudden death or major accidents or things like that, I personally believe that forgiveness is stronger in those types of situations, but it still works. It still works. So your emotions can push you to forgiving in those types of situations, but even then, there are levels to it. There are processes to it. So for people that are saying and thinking, and this is why I laughed when I started the forgiveness work and when I do the journaling work, it was hilarious to me because in the beginning, once we went through the first pass of journals and then we started to repeat the journals, people would reach out to, we already did this journal. Okay, so obviously you have not been paying attention to the work. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. And so you repeat forgiveness just like everything else over and over again so that you can understand how much you have matured. The person that forgave the first time is different than the person that revisits it the second or third time because each time you like shed a layer of skin, like snakes shed their skin. It's like every time you are a new person revisiting it. So that's
So before you go any further, would you say that each time you get another level of compassion,
hmm yeah, and
another
revelation,
level,
compassion and revelation.
yes, revelation, and that stony heart
hmm
is now beginning to break down because you see things differently, you operate differently, and you understand differently. I
hmm
just wanted to, ask that question.
hmm Yeah, it's like with everything, anything that you do, you're not gonna get it right the first time. And even when you're like, let's say you're putting, I don't bake, but I've watched people do it, and like when you have ingredients, you just don't stir it one time and it's all mixed. You got to keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. And so, same thing with forgiveness. You don't say I forgave you one time and you keep. But that's the thing. Forgiveness. Once you do it in the physical, you just have to do that one time. Once you do it in the physical, but then it's the internal work that has to be repeated. And so, like for Mike and I, when I forgave him and he forgave me, that was it as it related to the two of us. God corrected me real quick because I kept apologizing over and over and over and over again. God said, when I forgave you, how long did it take? I was like, the first time. But you keep apologizing to your husband, so you have made your husband your God. But
So let me stop you right there because that's a good point. I was just thinking about this. You was talking about stirring the cake, and Tiffany, you got to chime in here at some point. But you was talking about stirring the cake, and one thing about a cake, you can over stir a cake.
mm-hmm.
You can either stir it just enough, or you could over stir it. When you put it in the oven, you ain't gonna have no cake.
Oh, didn't know that was possible. How do you overstir a cake?
So
I've never baked a cake. How does that work? You can overstir a cake?
you can over stir
What that look like?
like a flat piece of pancake by the
Oh,
time you
yeah,
finish.
thinner.
It doesn't, because it takes the substance out of it. I guess that's the best way I could put it. It takes the
It beats out the yeast.
it beats out the yeast. The yeast is what makes it rise. Then you have an over baked cake. Nobody can eat it. And that's the same thing with what you're saying. You kept apologizing. Oh, we can apologize so much that we over apologize.
Well, obviously, I need to keep teaching forgiveness and not baking because I had no idea. You can overstir a cake. Oh my God, that's good. I didn't know that. I'm gonna try that. I'm just gonna try it just to see what I get. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Leslie.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna stay in my seat today, and I'm not gonna slide out the chair.
Oh my God. So,
but I did not know.
I just wanted to add that to what you were saying, because as soon as you said about compete, you talked about the stirring and the stirring. Yeah, you can over stir something. You can overdo something.
Oh.
And when you overdo it, like you said, you come out of the will of God, because then you come in, that's yourself. That's your emotions that's making you go over and over repeatedly, because you're not trusting that what you said was enough. So I just wanted to kind of put that in there.
Y'all know how we are. We go look up words, right? Over mixing, therefore, can lead to cookies, cakes, muffins, pancakes, and breads that will end up being tough, gummy, or unpleasantly chewy. My God, today.
Oh, I am complete. Thank you. I didn't know that. I learn something new every day. I had no idea. So
but the terminology was good.
If I ever come to y'all and say I'm teaching a cooking class, do not sign up. Do not sign up. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. Yes, Tiffany, go ahead.
Wait, Tiffany, because Ashley put in here, you stir out the baking soda or baking powder. So let's talk about that for a minute. The baking soda and the baking powder. We know that when you're baking something, you need especially the baking powder, because the baking powder is a form that helps it rise. And if we live our lives without the baking soda or the baking powder, that's the portion that puts us in illustration of the example of living for the Father and not for ourselves, because that's what helps us be our substance. You know, we always talk about being intentional. Our substance, being intentional about following the Father, and we pray that prayer. I want to do your will. I want to do it the way I forgive, but no. Let's slow down a minute. Let's allow the baking soda, and if you think about baking soda and you think about vinegar, because I did this little experiment with my grandson, letting the volcano rise. You know, when you put those two ingredients together, it causes something to happen. When you take yourself out of yourself and put the Yahweh in it, something begins to happen. Hallelujah. Something begins to stir up on the inside that causes you to not look at the situation the way you were. And you can't always blame yourself, because if you live in a place of what I've done, or I don't know, you know, sometimes we're in a place and we're always saying, oh my God, I made a mistake. And we don't let it go ourselves. We hinder the move of God in our lives. Some of us on this line, we do Sabbath. If we go into Sabbath with that in our heart, we hinder the flow of what Yahweh is trying to do. It's vitally important that we realize and recognize it's not about us. Sometimes God will use those things to push you to the next level of where you have to go. But if you don't understand that, you'll stay stuck because you'll be so embarrassed, so broken because you made a mistake. Have you forgiven yourself or forgiven yourself for the mistakes you might have made? Do you trust Yahweh enough to change? Do you trust God enough to change you, to heal you, to deliver you, to set you free? That cake illustration, girl, was a good one right there. I'm sorry, Tiff. Go ahead.
Revisit cooking. That might be my ministry. I gotta look at that. I was like, I ain't even. Ooh, I done learned today. I didn't know. Maybe I'll bake something. Y'all come. I'm gonna bake a cake for the community. I'm gonna bake one.
We'll try it.
I guess you're waiting for me to talk, right? Hello, everyone. So this has been really, really interesting because everything everyone is saying is really resonating with me, and I say that because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I remember my beginning prior to forgiveness, and what do you say? So I was the person that had um, a heart of stone. I was emotionless. So asking me to forgive somebody, that just was not happening. And it took a major traumatic experience to go down that it scared me so bad. It literally had me sitting on the floor to a therapist's office the next morning. I was like what just happened? I didn't care if they were booked up. Somebody was seeing me that day, because in a split second, like that could have really changed my entire life. And you know, that was my entryway into therapy, you know. um so it wasn't until I started therapy and really doing the deep dive, um and really attacking and pulling those layers off. That was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, because now I'm in a space where I had to look in the mirror, and not only look in the mirror, but literally look at the person that was before me and really conquer pain, issues, hurt, um, all of the things. And
So stay right there. The pain, the issues, and the hurt. What does that look like?
the pain, oh my God, what did it look like? Whatever you can pretty much put your mind around, I've done it, you know. It's just, it's just, it's just, what does it look like? It looks like a nasty person. I
In a
was brought
dark place.
in a dark place. Like it literally felt as if I had a black cloud over me. Um, and it's hard for people to imagine that because they see the person that's that's before you today. It's just I was a nasty person, just nasty, out fighting people just because I felt like fighting. I'm going to the club, I'm fighting people just because. Um, Cussing people out, just all of the things, like whatever it was, just find a problem with everything. Um, and I'm thankful that I had a praying grandmother and parents who we were estranged at the time. We were not in communication. And I'm thankful to God that we were able to um, reconcile and we are in an amazing space today. But um, yeah, that's what it looked like. And when when Alicia talked about the layers of forgiveness is real true. And it wasn't until my heart was softened and the scale started to come off that I could now see the wrong that I was doing, and I got my conscience back because I was almost consciousless. Like something would happen, and my girlfriend Michelle, she would be like, "But you're not like." Something just happened and there's no emotion from you. And I was like, okay, and people would say, oh, look at the blue sky and all of the things. I was like, it's just a sky. So what is blue? I mean, it was just like that. And it wasn't until I regained that consciousness that I could start to see my error of ways. And then now I can learn the forgiveness piece. So I hope I answered your question, but yes.
So let's talk about that 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 part. You said that the part that you had to deal with was the soul. The healing that needs to take place a lot of time is in the soulish area. And we think because we said forgiveness and we're in Christ, that that's all we have to do. No, your soul has been broken. Your soul has been disappointed. Your soul has been devastated. Your soul has gone through trauma. And because of that, what does he say? I wish above all that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Sometimes we can't figure out what it is, why we can't let it go, what's taken so long. What it is it's that soul. What did David say in the Psalms? He said, I will bless soul, bless the Lord. He said, line up, soul. I need my soul to be healed. I need my soul to be delivered. I need my soul to be set free. And it's a place we all go through. It's what we do with it when we do. Rejection is a painful thing. Disappointment is a painful thing. Somebody was in the chat I saw earlier about a father and giving a husband There's people that have gone to the grave that you've never forgiven. The time is now. The time is to set yourself free from the bondage of I'll never forget what they've done to me. I'll never forget how they left me. I'll never forget how they wasn't there for me. Whatever that trauma is, go and sit with the Father and allow him to heal you. I just wanted to put that in there, that this is more than just I forgive you or I'm sorry. Our whole being has to line up with that, if that makes sense. It's not just the mouth. Our whole being has to line up with that.
Wow, when you understand the root of something and to be intentional, you have to really understand that unforgiveness is resentment and anger. And when we do release, knowing that, you know how Leaf says, wait, Leaf, what is that you say? You can't take 60 seconds, or you got to match up that time. Because if you were in anger for 20 years, it's not going to just go away in one day. So that layer piece is good. And but you have to say yes every day to it. You have to say yes every moment, especially when the triggers take place. You know when like a baby learns to hold its bottle, it's holding its bottle on its own, but they still cannot have an open cup and drink from the cup yet. It's going to be gradual, the maturation of learning about the forgiveness. Yesterday, I mean, I had to repent. No one knew, but I was a little stressed out because I had scheduled one thing, and then my lovely husband scheduled something else. He thought I was going to be partying at 7 in the morning because I get up early. He was looking at my habits and made an assumption. Then everybody started blowing up his phone like, wait, Roz is on Zoom and you told us to be at the dinner party at 7 p.m. and he thought it was morning. But what more than because of what I had been going through with grieving and missing both of my friends, just buried my other best friend last week, missing Dr. Japonica. I don't do nothing on birthday times without them. And I had to really look in myself for what was happening and then say it's okay for the grieving, but ask God to forgive me if I'm stuck, if I'm holding on to the pain of discomfort. So everybody grieves differently. Everybody will go through the apology and forgiveness differently, but that the only thing that's going to get us there is not because of our horizontal. It's that one-on-one time, going into the secret places, working that vertical alignment with the Father and really looking in the mirror and learning ourselves and our own heart and keeping it 100, keeping it real. That's my share.
So I know Alicia, she got something to say, but let me just put this in there. We just gonna cook today, okay? We're just gonna cook. We're not gonna cook a bake. We're finished with the cake.
I
But
want
let's
oxtails. Can you use an analogy with some oxtails?
I will, 'cause we getting some mocktails today. You want me to ship it?
we're gonna use some of the ingredients. We're gonna use one of the ingredients for oxtails.
I mean, shoot. I mean, we're going to talk about food. Let's talk about the food that I really want to eat. I'm not a big sweet person, so that's why I don't understand the cake. Now, I can cook some oxtails and stuff like that, but go ahead.
Well, when you make that cake, you make us some oxtails too.
Yeah,
But
I do the oxtails.
we'll have to send you some money because oxtails is a little
they a
pricey
little
these days.
expensive. You gotta be a real good friend, and I must have. We have to be forgiving for me to serve you some oxtails.
No, that's right.
You ain't gonna sit at my table mad eating my oxtails. I've been bag on. We're gonna be
All that money you gonna put
all that money I'm putting out. Everybody, look how they say, you go to the altar and you have something against your brother, sister, you leave it there. That's how we gonna do them oxtails before they serve. Does anybody have anything against me? Anybody got any problems?
I know that's right, but I want to use the onion, an ingredient.
Oh, the onion. Yeah, you can put onion in oxtail. I see how that works. Go on, girl, go on. I get it. Go on.
Look, this is me. My daughter
Oh,
tell me,
we
say,
got some people here. I don't do oxtails. Okay, your meat of choice. Turkey wings, chicken.
turkey wings.
As for me and my house,
We eat oxtails. Ash, you better take them oxtails you got out in there. We can have oxtails tonight.
as for me and my house, hallelujah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I forgot. I apologize.
You're fine. You're fine. That's that. You don't drink enough coffee now.
Mike put some in this, y'all. Mike put some.
She is wide awake.
I go to 11, 12 now. I don't know.
No,
Go
we're
ahead.
not. No, we're not.
I am complete. I'm complete.
Oh, but I wanted to say, let's use a fresh onion. And we know that onions have layers. And when you slice into a fresh onion, you cry. You slice another piece, you cry. The tears just begin to roll. The eyes begin to burn. And you kind of have to walk away. Sometimes with forgiveness, you might have to cry. Your eyes might burn and you might have to walk away. But when you finish cutting that onion and put that onion into the oxtails, and that oxtails is finished, you got a whole good meal. So I want to say, when Roz was talking, that it's layers that's got to be peeled back. And if that is a fresh wound and you cutting them onions, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. And do you ever had an onion you put in the refrigerator and you use the rest of it later? They say you're not supposed to do that, but I'm saying it. And you use it later, you don't get any tears because it's no longer fresh. Well, when we begin to heal, the tears begin to heal. The pain begins to heal. The hurt begins to heal. Everything comes into play. My daughter will tell you when she cooks something, and I'm like, ain't no onions in this. She's like, does that have to be in everything? I said, almost. Almost. When I taste something and I don't taste the onion, something about an onion gives it a special taste. It brings something out of the food when you put an onion in it. And when it's like my meats, look, my son-in-law say, that's the gravy woman, because if you got a piece of steak and it's a little tough, I'm slicing it, I'm making some gravy, I'm putting some onions in it, and that steak is going to become tender, and I'm going to have me a good old time eating it. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alicia.
I have no idea what I was going to say after that. I was at Wegmans buying me some oxtails in my mind. I was shopping at the grocery store. I'm hungry now. Forgiveness is actually, once you get a hang of it, it's actually a lot of fun when you get a hang of it. But it's the first pass. Like, most people have a problem with forgiveness because they're doing it for things that have been sitting with them for years. But once you get that under control, once you get that, daily maintenance of forgiveness is actually fun, because Pastor Vicky said at the conference, live an unoffended life. I love that. I mean, that's still that still just keeps evolving every time I reflect on it. And when you are in a posture of forgiveness, you can live an unoffended life. And living an unoffended life brings joy to the bones. It's so liberating. Like, you can literally let things just roll off your back. For me, it was the old things that were keeping me stuck. It was all of the things from things that you let sit for a long time. That's the problem. Everything has a right to exist. And because you fed this and nurtured it, it has become a part of your life. And because it's become a part of your life, it's not going to go easily because this is the life. This is where it has lived. And so when you serve those emotions, air quote, that eviction notice, it's going to fight you because it's been there so long and you have built your entire life around it. Like everything that you identify in your life has been shaped and molded around this lack of forgiveness. This is who you are, or so you think. But once you start to release it, and once you start to let it go, and you start to see it loose its hold, you get to see a whole new you. Like the me that people experience now, it's hilarious to me because I'm fun. I mean, I just like having fun. I just like laughing. I like getting things done. But if I'm not getting it done in fun, if I'm not getting it done, I made a rhyme. If I'm not getting it done in fun, then I would not have won. Anyway, but it's fun for me. It is fun for me. And so that's all I wanted to say is that make forgiveness fun. But you're not gonna experience that until you get rid of all of the old stuff. But I did want to ask Tiffany, show us how you used to act. Like get up and throw some stuff. I want to see. I need a visual. I'm a visual person. Show us what you used to do. You can't smile though. I want to see how This is why when we do that, I want to do that Zoom event. All y'all invited. It's virtual. It's not at my house. It's virtual. But we're gonna do like the Who I Used to Be event. Who I used to be. And it's gonna be fun. In my mind, it's hilarious. So Tiffany, I can't wait to see what that was. What that part of you.
But the thing about that is I can't even act it out anymore because I went from a person with no emotions and like you didn't catch me laughing and stuff a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So for now, just about everything I do, I'm sitting there like I'm so silly. I just love laughing and having fun. So
Me too. That's
it's like night and day. Like I can't even reenact the old Tiffany now.
That's why it's
Now
like
my brothers can, but
well, they need to join the call so they can.
I say, do not bring the family members.
I
Do not bring the family members.
Oh my God, that's why you cannot like you need to. That's why I love the community that we have so much because it pulls you away from your family and friends and all of that, so you can really be who you are. Because your family, everybody's going to keep you stuck. That's why, like, at the conference, my mama cried the whole time. My sister was like, Mama cried the whole time. Mama got off. She takes, like, some medications or something. Mama's system was messed up the whole week out. She messed up her medication. She forgot. My sister, I said, Melissa, you had one job to make sure Mama ate and took her medicine right. She said, we were just like, what is happening? What is this? Okay, so the reason I say that is because they were looking at the old me. They were looking at the me I used to be. Alicia Johnson was flaky. Alicia Johnson I had commitment phobia, okay? I was late for everything. I didn't finish anything. It was insane. But they didn't have the time. They didn't know all of the work I had done to release that. And so you need to be in an environment where no one knows your past but you. Because in this community, we cheering you on. Like, I put this post out a few minutes ago, and it's about how we as people, Black people, we cheer everybody on. Go red shirt, go polka dots. Oh my God, you good, you good. And that's how you need that when you are healing. You need that. It's like, your family be like, remember that last time you slashed the tires? Remember the last time you did this? Remember the last? But see, in our
Don't
community,
forget the buttons.
and the buttons, and that's the thing, in the community, it'll be like, girl, at least you didn't stab him, right? I mean, like you cut his tires, but you ain't stab him. That's good, girl. That's good. So it's like you need to be in an environment where you are encouraged to grow. And that's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness gives you the license to live differently. So I'm done. I'm complete. Thank
Wow.
So
you.
that was good. 1 minute, Roz. You was talking about, they used to call me Big Les. that's some people still do.
I'm about to slide out the chair. I was getting ready to get up and run.
Straight gangster.
I'm not doing that. I'm gonna sit right here. That's funny though. I was about to Big leg.
But you know what the funny part was?
She about this big. She about that big. She about that big.
Look,
But she sound like a bill collector though on the phone. I called Les one day. Hello.
first of all,
I got
I
scared.
want to know why you calling
I
me?
got scared. I called her and I got scared. I was like, it's in the mail. The check is in the mail. Wait, I don't owe you no money. Go ahead, Big Les. I'm sorry.
But I was, my daughter got in a fight one day, and the girls had planned to jump her at school. And I called Ashley. Ashley worked in Philly. We was living in Delaware. Ashley left her job. We going up to the school. I got a pipe in my pocket, in my sleeve. I got all this stuff. Now, if they caught me, I would have went to jail. But I was like, ain't nobody gonna be toughing up on my daughter. So yeah, I kind of, that Big Les was my name, and I thought about that when you was talking.
I'm gonna do this thing sooner than later. Come as you were party. Oh my!
I put my sneakers on, and I was like, "Let's go," because it's going down today. But they didn't bother her, thank God. But yeah, Ashley came home. She left her job and came up to the school. It was on, okay? So yeah.
This is why the event will be virtual. This is exactly why the event will be virtual. Thank you, Lord. I was wondering why it had to be virtual. Now I know. Oh my God. I gotta check. I'm sorry. I was saying anybody can join the group, but we doing background checks after the day. We doing background checks.
Yeah, I kind of, but I wasn't like a person. I was nasty.
Clean it up.
No, I was nasty now. And like I said, I used to carry rusty scissors in my pocketbook. Somebody was going down if you
I
came
give
after
them
me.
tetanus. Oh my gosh.
And I had ordered a gun. I began to take martial arts. Somebody was going down. Ain't nobody else gonna mess with me. Okay. So I didn't bother people.
Oh, the next conference gonna be different, y'all. We're gonna have security and everything.
I used to look. I'm not telling. I'm going to tell it, but I'm not going to tell it. But my when I was a teenager, 15, about 15, and my mom had this boyfriend. He came home drunk, and he had a girlfriend. They got to fighting, and I jumped in. You ain't gonna hit my mother. And then we got to fighting, and I took the pipe from the bathroom that, those things you use for towel racks, and I started beating him with it. And then he got one. He started beating me with it, and we were fighting. We tore up my mother's kitchen, I want you to know. And when it was all over, somebody said, yeah, I saw so-and-so. And they said, he said, I'll never go back to that house. I whipped his butt real good. So it wasn't that I was a fighter. They said I was, but I wasn't. And I see my niece on here making comments. But I wasn't a fighter. But if you triggered that part of me, it was on. So I just, you triggered that, Alicia.
Oh my God, whoever Wanda Floyd is,
She's going to be on. We're getting her on here.
Cynthia Flores, if you see that name come across the 1212, hold on. She said, I kept a found down screwdriver and a switch.
See?
Well, I've been joking.
Wanda's good. I'm gonna have some of the UK ladies on. We're gonna do a show with them as well. But yeah, people just see like Tiffany said, the new us. But there's people that remember the old us. I remember when I gave my life to the Lord, and I'm gonna let Roz go. Yes, but you know what? People on my job laughed so hard. They said that is not gonna last. They thought that was the funniest thing. And some of them end up getting saved by watching me because I did change. Because
can you invite some of them? I wanna get them.
I don't even know where they are now.
Find them, Les. Find them. Put Big Les on the job. She'll find them.
He had to change me, but I didn't know. And what happened was, I was at a club, and this guy said, "You want to get high?" I said, "Yeah." So I went in the van with him. We're freebasing, and I say, "I gotta go because I gotta go to church tomorrow." He's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go too. I'm the superintendent of Sunday school," and it changed my life. I went to church. I cried through church. When they had the altar call, I jumped over the people. I took my leg and just jumped over the people. My girlfriend was like, "I was telling you to wait." I said, "I ain't hear you." And I gave my life to the Lord. But he knew I had to. He knew that I would have been in jail somewhere or dead if I hadn't. So in his appointed time, he said, "Baby, this is it." And he said, "No more," because I was broken. Nobody else was going to break me. I don't know how we got here, but I know Rod's been trying to say something. I'm going to let her go ahead and talk.
Whew, all I got to say, on earth as it is in heaven. I actually forgot, but I think what I was going to say when Lee said, she said something about the maturing part. Oh, willing to change, us supporting each other, but is the part about being in the community, willing to encourage and to empower for healing. Because when we do those morning calls, that I think the residue of unforgiveness comes out of so many of us, because the teaching and how God downloads to her, it can't do nothing but bring it out. And to voice it and put it out there into the ethers is another part of that healing, another part of that layer being pulled away. I guess, Leslie, when you were talking, I was like, well, no wonder Leslie loved me so much. Because, I was a 10-year addict. I don't know if you saw it. I just learned something else about PL3 from just being in community. And, we've had our private talks and things. And Leslie, when you said that, I was like, well, I'll be dang. You have certain puzzle pieces of how someone else can relate to you. And you may never even know a story, but it is truly delightful when people aren't judging you. It's truly delightful that people can truly love you unconditionally. It's truly delightful when they can talk to you and you're thinking, how the heck did they know that? There's a lot of times now I've learned, I know Leash will talk about some folks and say, Leash, how, when they call whining, I knew not to whine because the people, my mom, my grandmother, you just don't whine. You might have a way to say what you want to say, but you just ain't you're not gonna whine. You just gotta do what you gotta do. So I am still having a problem, just so y'all know, how to really, and Leash said it earlier, but you find the joy, but how do you really, when you have totally surrendered, then you will understand the trueness of forgiveness, to have fun and enjoy the process. And you do have moments where you laugh and say, God dog it. So, it would take, I won't be afraid, but I will invite my brother, because I still need a bit of coaching. So, Leash, when you said invite your family members, I'm gonna invite him, and we'll see what he says for how crazy I be acting, so we can do that. I'm like Tiffany though. I don't want to bring back that ugly person. If we've done all of this grooming and growing to leave that person in the grave, I don't want to do that. But that would be interesting to have our family members to come on up here and tell us how he was acting. And Big Leslie with your 4, wait, you're really 5'3", right? 5'3" self. I love y'all. This has been good. This has been awesome.
Well, I don't know if anybody else has anything to say. If you do, let me know. But I do have to get ready to go to service, and some of the ladies on here do too. But I want to thank everybody for coming, and the Rick has been hilarious on here. He wanted to know. He said something about it's just the network cooking show, and then he said this is better than the background check. So he's been hilarious on here inputting, but yeah, I don't know. We might have to carry this conversation on. I don't know.
It's a powerful topic, actually. Powerful
Right.
topic.
Yeah, forgiveness never
ends.
gets old. Never, ever gets old, because as long as you're here on earth, there's always gonna be work to do. So yeah, I'm excited. So thank you, Leslie, for today. I pray I acted right, and
You did, and you finally act like Alicia.
I was.
You didn't act like the Alicia that goes in for an interview.
I was trying. I tried.
You did good.
I tried.
You did good.
It
You
didn't
did
work.
good.
But I tried. I'm gonna try again next week. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it one day. But thank you, Leslie. Thank you, ladies. This was fun.
Well, thank you, ladies. I have to see what next month we have different people coming on, so I have to see what your schedule is next week, and we can carry on this conversation. But I am going to do a session also with I call them the UK ladies. I know Wanda, she's in California, but I'm going to do a session because Pastor Jackie is in there, and she's one of our 1212 community people. And one of the most, what Roz was saying about the community, but one of the most liberating things is that there is no judgment. There is no judgment. And that is liberating. That we're not here to judge you, but we're here to see you get your deliverance and go to the next place in your assignment that you have been chosen for. So if all hearts is clear, as they say in church, anybody want to say anything? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation. One day, Alicia, is going to be me, you, and Ashley, and we're going to talk about the portion of our book that is already out there, at The Confident Woman, and then we'll talk about the book that's coming out. So look forward to that. I have Esquire. She's a lawyer. Adrienne Mayfield coming on. She was a pastor's wife. She has an interesting story. She also sent a letter on YouTube, on social media, to John Ray's wife. Not Ray, what's his name? John, the preacher man, expressing what she went through and asking her to seek help in so many words. So she'll be on Pastor. I have Dr. Vicky coming on. I have Erica Bishop coming on. I have some other friends that are in the ministry that's going to be coming on and talking with us and just sharing their viewpoints. So I'm excited about what's going on. And then on Facebook, what I'm going to do is have little segments for people that can't come on Sundays. And we're going to talk in just little segments about different things and their viewpoint of it. So I look forward to bigger things, me getting out there and doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, I know we're getting ready to go, but I can't leave without saying something.
Go ahead.
Lest you get on my nerves. She up here all this time complain. Y'all just don't know how much we have gone through over the past, Lord, how many years? It's been about 2 years? 2 years? 3 years. I don't think I have anything to say. I don't think people are going to listen. I don't think. Did she not just say, I have Dr. Vicky Johnson coming. I have whoever, Miss Esquire coming. I have Erica Bishop coming. Don't play with me no more, little girl. Don't play with me no more. I love it. I'm so proud of you, though. All jokes aside, I am very proud of you. And just so grateful that you have stepped into the truth of who God has created you to be. And let you be an example to everyone to understand that nothing is wasted in God's economy. And that if God has given you an assignment, it is your responsibility to carry it out. Success looks different for everyone. Do not let the world fool you. It angers me so much. I got forgiveness work to do. But when people sit on their blessings because it does not look like what the world says it should look like, you're not going to come out of the gate making 6 and 7 figures. You're not going to come out of the gate having 10 million followers. You're not going to come out of the gate being recognized by everyone. But heaven is your first audience. So thank you, Leslie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I am complete. Ooh, that got me going. I got some forgiveness. We got to continue this call because I just rise up. Woo, all right. Love y'all.
Woo, well said. Somebody was going to say something?
I second the emotion. You know, the acronym for big, but it's going to be the good part of the big for you.
Well, she just called me a little girl. She went all the way there. But thank you, everybody. I'm not in the security business anymore. Sorry, can't help you. Unless you want me to go into the realm of the spirit, you're on your own. Love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this show. I hope you really took something away that would change your life. Until we meet next Sunday, you have an amazing week in God. Love you guys. See you next time.